Hi, welcome to my tutorial about how Excel handles dates. It's really important to understand that to Excel, a date is a number. It doesn't display that way because it wouldn't make sense to us, as users, to see a number instead of a date. We wouldn't understand the numbers and what they are. But without dates being numbers, we could not calculate with them. So this begs the question, what number? How much is today worth? What about yesterday? How much is tomorrow? At some point in the development of electronic spreadsheets, a decision was made. Someone decided that January 1st, 1900 would be worth 1. Then January 2nd, 1900 would be worth 2. And every day since January 1st, 1900 would be incremented by 1. Let's look at how this might work. I'll click here on cell A2 and I'll type 1/1/1900 and press my enter key. In cell A3, I'll type 1/2/1900 and press my enter key. So far, these just look like dates because that's what I've typed. In cell A4, let's put in today's date. I'll type an equal sign, I'll type the word today and open and close parentheses. This is a function that has Excel display the system date in a cell. When I press my enter key, yes, that's today's date, the date that I'm making this video. In cell A5, I'll type in my birthday, 2/26/1952. I'll press my enter key, and now I have 4 dates that look like dates because that's how I typed them in. But let's see them as numbers. I'll highlight all 4 dates, and then I'll point out to you in the number group on the Home tab, do you see how it says the word date here? And when I point without clicking, it tells me that that's a numeric format. It's telling me that's the way a number is displaying. I'll click this down arrow for my choices, and I'll switch it to the general format. And lo and behold, look at those dates. They now display as values, as numbers. January 1st, 1900, January 2nd, 1900. Look at that. Today is worth 42,670. My birthday was worth 19,050. That's how many days elapsed from January 1st, 1900 until the day I was born. Let's find out how many days I've been alive. I'll click at A7 and I'll type the next formula, an equal sign. I'll click on today's date, a minus sign. I'll click on my birthday. Then I'll press my enter key. And look at that. I have been alive for 23,620 days. Ugh, makes me tired just to think of it. But now let's apply this to a real-world situation. I'll click on the Receivables tab for this other worksheet in my file. And here I have an accounts receivable set up. I've used some baseball player names for my customer list. They all owe me some money. And this list here is the dates that an invoice was sent to them. I'm going to build a formula over here in column D that will determine how many days ago Mr. Killebrew's invoice was sent. Then once I have a good formula, I'll be able to copy that down the column. Over here in column E, I have a formula that will automatically figure out if that invoice is more than 40 days overdue. And if it is, I'll have to invoice that person again with a service charge. So in cell D3, I'll type an equal sign, and I'm going to use that same function again to get the system date. Today, open and close parentheses, and I know that that is worth a number equal to today. I'll type a minus sign, and I'll type C3, because that's the date that Mr. Killebrew's invoice was sent out. I'll click the check mark up here on the formula bar. Well, it gave me a result looking like a date, but that's because this is formatted like a date. I'll just change this to general again. Now I see that Mr. Killebrew's invoice was sent more than 40 days ago, and so therefore it's overdue and he deserves another invoice. I'll use my fill handle to copy this down the column, and then I very quickly get the results for every customer, how many days ago their invoice was sent, and then because of an if statement that I typed into column E, I know whether or not I need to invoice the customer again. I could not do this if dates were not numbers. So think about it. What in your professional life, your business life, or maybe even in your personal life, how could you apply this? How could this affect the work that you do in Excel?